Hey, it's Alex, and I'm in Riga, Latvia. And today we're going to talk about where to go as a digital nomad. Now, I've been traveling the world for the past 6 years, and I go to a new country every 2-3 months. Right now I'm in, Riga, obviously, very beautiful country. It's just raining outside, so I'm inside a mall. And next 6 months, I'm going to go to 2 or 3 more countries. So I keep traveling from country to country to country all the time. So far I've been to 35 plus countries, and I've been almost all continents basically. So here's my top locations that I can advise you to go based on what you really need. So there's a few factors to consider when you're choosing where to go exactly. There's money. There's if you want nightlife, or if you want other sorts of ways of meeting people. If you want just to sit at home and work all day, if you want an entrepreneur community, or if it doesn't matter, if you're traveling with friends or with a girlfriend or with a wife or anything like that. It really depends on your current needs where you should go. So here's a few places that fit what I basically want. So I want parties, and I want to go places where it's easy to reach for entrepreneurs, because I do meetups. I meet up with people from my mastermind. I invite them over, they fly over and stuff like that. And I want to live in a central location where you can walk around. And I'm looking for not like a LA. I don't like LA, for example. I don't like LA, but I don't like to stay in LA for too long, because you need to go everywhere by car. There's all this time wasting, right? So Riga, for example, you don't waste any time going anywhere. Everything is in the center, right? So you just stay in the center, you walk everywhere. Literally on my street, there is everything you can imagine, gym and everything else. So that's what I need. So if another city that I like is Barcelona. So Barcelona is a very super magical place, actually. It's the second city that I went to when starting to travel like this. And I stuck around. It was really insanely awesome there, because once I got there, I found a bunch of entrepreneurs, and there was amazing parties everywhere, very nice food, and people from all over the world. So it was the biggest city I'd ever lived in. It's very big. It was 5 million people. And it was very beautiful. You can go eat anything you want. There's a beach and everything else. So Barcelona, it's a little bit unsafe sometimes. People try to rob you, but they're not aggressive or anything like that, so you should be good. So Barcelona, very, very good. Another good place in Spain, actually, is Valencia. If you want to go to Valencia, then I think I like it more than Barcelona even right now, because it's cleaner, there's less crime. There's still tourists if you want to talk to tourists. There's a lot of locals there as well who speak Spanish as opposed to the language they speak in Barcelona, which is Catalonian. So it has its advantages as well. Also very, very good food in Valencia. Another place, I've also made videos in all these places, by the way. You can watch the videos if you want to see what it looks like, or simply Google if you want to see what it looks like, of course. So another place that I really, really like is Miami South Beach. Now the thing about Miami South Beach is it's better than most other places in most ways, apart from one single factor, and that is money, okay? Miami South Beach is the most expensive place I have ever been. A single room, a very, very small room, costs per month rent, short term, $1,750. So it was kind of expensive to be here. I don't recommend, if you're on a budget, don't go to South Beach, Miami, unless you stay like 2 days in a hostel or something. So if you do want to go to places that are cheaper and also near Miami South Beach, I actually recommend Cancun and Playa del Carmen. I was in Playa del Carmen in 2012. Very beautiful. There's resorts, so there's a lot of people going, like a lot of tourists basically from the United States. So keep that in mind. But if you go into Cancun itself, it's a whole city with really good internet. By the way, it's also a factor. In all these cities that I mentioned, there's always good internet. Kind of lost here. And next location I would recommend is a little bit off the beaten path. Most people don't go there. It's actually Taipei in Taiwan. So the reason I recommend Taipei in Taiwan is because it has a lot of these factors that I've been mentioning before. So it has really good internet. It's really cheap, actually. There's dating life if you're looking for that. There's definitely a lot of that, and it's also very 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 safe. So it's a big thing in Taiwan. It's extremely safe. And if you go south, so instead of to Taipei, you go to a southern city in Taiwan, it's even cheaper, and there's even less tourists. So some would argue it's even better. So another city, so I have a lot of these, by the way. Another city is the one that I just came from, actually, is Split, Croatia. It's definitely on the pricey side, so it's not if you're just starting out. You do need $3,000-$4,000 per month to be very comfortable there, mostly because of rent. That's if you stay in the tourist season in the summer. If you stay outside of tourist season, I don't know if it's still going to be good, but it's probably going to be a lot cheaper. So Split, Croatia, very very nice food, and locals are very friendly. They speak English. They're a little bit shy, but it's whatever. So another good thing about Croatia and Split in particular is nature is amazing. Like, this is probably one of my favorite destinations for nature, because basically you're on a beach there, and if you go take a boat trip, you basically go to any number of islands with like celebrities on there, like Hvar and stuff like that. And there's amazing food everywhere, good internet. You even have 4G while on a boat, while sailing on a boat there. I've been told you still get good 4G internet. So you could actually potentially still get work done while traveling from island to island. And in fact, a lot of people do that. They travel from island to island. There's hundreds of islands in Croatia like that. So a place that everyone's raving about all the time is Budapest. I'm not a huge fan. It's kind of landlocked place. It's cheap-ish. It's not very expensive. Although I heard the price has been going up recently. There's good parties there, but the locals don't speak English. So I'm not a huge fan. There's a lot of entrepreneurs though. And another place that I've been to is Osaka. Osaka in Japan. Now Osaka. So the thing about Osaka is no one there speaks English. No one, okay? I mean, there's like 5 people that I met there that actually speak some English. Don't be offended, people from Osaka. I mean, by speak English, I mean like relatively fluently. So, well, it doesn't matter. So basically, if you go to Osaka, you're in a completely different fucking universe, okay? This is the most insanely unique culture that I've ever seen in my life. Be sure to read up on it a little bit before going. And it's really awesome because obviously there's the food. There's trips you can take to Kyoto and Tokyo and all that. It's not as expensive as Tokyo. It's off the beaten path. There's very few tourists. Very extremely ridiculously safe. The locals, believe it or not, they actually want to meet you. There's even like places where there's parties organized specifically to meet foreigners, so it's very popular. And yeah, it's generally a very good place, especially if you want to go party. Definitely not if you want to meet a lot of entrepreneurs. There's not that many there, but it's very off the beaten path. You could say in the middle of nowhere, not literally, of course, but no one's there, and you're going to be the only person hanging out there who's a digital nomad, almost. So let's see, what other places have I been recently? I've been to San Diego. Now, San Diego, you need to stay in the center, so it's definitely very, very expensive. Very, very expensive if you stay in the center. You're looking again at similar rent as Miami. Everything else is cheaper though. There's like Amazon Fresh and all that kind of stuff. Food delivered, groceries delivered to your door. Very cheap to get a cook if you're into that. I used to have a cook in San Diego. It was amazing. She came every week and cooked everything and cleaned everything. It was really good. So I like the United States because of that. Everything is super convenient. But the thing about the United States is, again, it's so freaking expensive. Honestly, if you're not making at least $20K per month disposable income, I wouldn't go to the United States. I used to say go there anyway, but sorry guys, nope. It's just too much. Now the places that I'm not a huge fan of is actually, guys, you're not gonna like this. So is Thailand, okay? Because the thing with Thailand is it's a little bit too dirty for my personal taste. Everyone, you can have your own taste, of course. It's personal opinion. It's very beautiful and all that, but it's just Philippines and Thailand. I'm not a huge fan. And Malaysia, it's definitely cleaner, and very cheap. I'm just not a huge fan of those countries. I just get sick there, you know. For weeks afterwards every time. It's one of those places. But if you're if you have an iron stomach or something like that, then by all means go ahead, get health insurance. So yeah, I guess that's a few places for you. Just make sure. Here's a few final tips when you're going somewhere as a digital nomad. That means working there while traveling. For those who are not familiar. So by working, I mean on your own business, not just like a job or something like that. So here's the thing. When I go somewhere, ahead of time, I book a place to stay, right? So I book a place to stay, and I make sure the internet is good. I make sure they don't have like construction work going on. I make sure everything is just like flawless, near the gym. There's all amenities. There's air conditioning if it's a hot country. And everything else, like you just mail them in advance and they need to confirm it, send you the speed of the internet. And people don't do this. They like, oh, we'll just see what happens. Never ever do that. If you go there and see what happens, even civilized countries, even if you have a lot of money, it's usually a disaster unless you get lucky. You need to get lucky if you see what's going to happen. Typically takes a week or two to prepare going somewhere. So, and I'm a fucking pro at this because I've been doing this for a long time. Still takes a week to prepare, and usually I ask friends for help. Another thing actually that I wanted to share is do take people with you. Like take your friends with you there. It's much easier to it's much easier to travel if you have friends with you. Something happens, friends are gonna rescue you. You ran out of your bank cards stop working, they're gonna pay your rent. Stuff like that happens all the time if you do this for a long term. But it's totally worth it. If you travel with friends, it's just 3 times better than traveling alone, guaranteed. All right, cool. So thanks for checking out this video. If you have any questions, comment below. I'm sure one of the questions is going to be, but how do you make money to travel? Well, I have a million videos about that, so subscribe to this YouTube channel and check them out. They're being released on a regular basis, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.